Hello everyone, welcome back to the SATAMonkeys podcast. I am your host, Earth and today I am joined by Zaire JWC
Poggers.
and Ryan, or Ryneix.
Hello.
We got some pretty interesting topics this week. Couple I want to discuss further, and one that came out yesterday that kind of took everyone by surprise. I do want to very quickly and briefly address the elephant in the room that yes, there are three of us now. Charles and Rob did indeed leave SATAMonkeys. They have other things they need to do, and that's absolutely fine, and we do wish them the best of luck in their future endeavors.
What the fuck happened to Charles? I genuinely didn't know that.
Yeah, no.
Shit.
He had to peace out, which
Well,
is fine.
We'll talk about it later. I didn't know about that one.
Yeah, no, but I get it. They're moving on. They have other things they
Yeah.
need to do, and I understand it entirely. So we wish them the best of luck in anything they do in the future. So it
Hugs
is
and
now
kisses.
just us. It is just us three, the core three. So let's get into this first topic here. This is from CNET, but it's actually like the topics in it are from Nintendo. Nintendo Direct, Breath of the Wild 2, Metroid Dread, and everything revealed at E3 2021. Well, that's actually misleading because Breath of the Wild 2 wasn't revealed. I mean, it was already revealed.
People knew it was gonna come out though.
Well, Nintendo already announced it, so if they mean reveal, like, it was already known
Gameplay?
directly. Yeah, they showed some gameplay, but
Uh,
they kind of prefaced it as if it's very in development, and it's almost the equivalent to like the not real in-engine footage thing.
so that means in like 2 years I can play Breath of the Wild 2 on my PC.
Yeah, from what I saw, it looks graphically about the exact same as Breath of the Wild 1, which makes sense. It's coming out in the same hardware. And given
Yeah, because even on Breath of the Wild 1, like the first one, it still sometimes chugs on the Switch. So I don't think they're gonna be any massive upgrades. To be honest with you.
it has frame problems on the Switch.
Yeah, even maybe on the Switch Pro, like the newer Switch.
Well, the
might
thing
do
is,
something
that's
with
not a
that.
thing yet.
Well, true.
People really thought Nintendo had apparently some announcement or predicted to do some announcement right before E3 of a Switch Pro, and then what was expected is they were going to show off Breath of the Wild 2 running on the Switch,
Switch
Pro.
Pro.
Yeah, it's a full 60 frames 720p or 4K output via HDMI cable. But no, that didn't happen. Nintendo didn't reveal a Switch Pro. They've continued, but like Bloomberg, who keeps saying it's a thing, that Nintendo's gonna release it, they continue to be wrong. And Nintendo continue to say it does not exist and not reveal it. And it's getting to the point where I find it feasible to believe that it really doesn't exist. Personally, it doesn't make sense to me why Nintendo would release a mid-generation upgrade.
Yeah.
That will not like that. It doesn't change the resolution on the display. It's still gonna output 720p 60 frames now instead of 30. It's gonna hopefully be able to do consistent 60, but it's 720p. I feel like if they're going to do something, it would be a wider screen, 1080p,
Yeah.
definitely 4K over HDMI. That part I think is accurate, but it's
Little
not.
bit
It would
bigger.
not. Yeah, I doubt it would be 720p, and because of that, I've always taken the leaks of the Switch Pro with a bit of a grain of salt because I don't believe it. And I find it really hard to believe that that's what they do.
I watched a Scott Waz video. I think it's Scott Waz.
It's got the
He's a
walls.
Nintendo fanboy.
Yeah,
He was talking about it. You know who I'm talking about, right?
it's got the walls.
Yeah. So he was talking about like all the updates of releases since COVID, and he was talking about the new Switch. He was like, I don't really see the reason for it, but I think it's people will still buy it either way. I don't know what games really need 1080p 4K like 60.
Yeah,
To be honest
hold
with
on.
you. Besides like Breath of the Wild and Super Mario Odyssey, like the real intensive fucking games.
Yeah, hold on. I'm trying to stop my mic. My mic is buzzing for some reason, and I do not understand why it is buzzing. It really should not be buzzing.
I don't hear it.
Well, yeah, I'm using a different mic on Discord.
Oh,
We're good. I turned it sideways, and it's working. So I can run with this for the podcast. Just put this on top. Good, no static. We're good. And if it does static, I'm sorry. We'll have it fixed next episode. I don't know why my mic does this sometimes. A lot of people I saw on Twitter were very, very disappointed that, like, what was it? There were people expecting a new Mario game. A lot of people expecting a new Mario game. Specifically,
wasn't it like Odyssey 2? or something they wanted, or no, Paper Mario.
Not even that. There was a small minority who wanted Mario Odyssey 2. I didn't hear anything about a Paper Mario because there was one that just released like last year.
The origami one.
Yeah. A lot of people wanted Mario Kart 9. And I'm not gonna lie, I that's about like what I'd expect of a Mario game that would release now.
True.
Simply because Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is literally Mario Kart 8 from the Wii U, which was released I think over 5 years ago at this point, I believe. Really long ass time ago. It's just that, but with all the DLC and then a couple additions. It's the same game. So I can understand the want for a new Mario game and the expectation of it, because they're really, unless you count Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, there hasn't been a Mario Kart game for the Switch that is the Switch's Mario Kart game. There's been the Wii U's Mario Kart game that was ported.
Ported over, yeah.
Yeah. And so I honestly, I was expecting Mario Kart 9, I'm not going to lie. After people reading about it or talking about it and everything, it's the type of thing Nintendo could just say out of nowhere exists and people could believe them. It doesn't seem hard for them to develop it compared to everything else. So that would not have shocked me. It would have been like the most predictable thing, and that didn't happen. The most notable thing I got was Danganronpa. All 3 games plus
God.
an adaptation of a board game is coming to the Switch.
Oh God, are you gonna buy that too? Don't you have every Danganronpa game?
I have 1 and 2, and then I've seen full gameplay of 3, so I didn't buy it because it's never cheap on Steam. Though it might be on Steam Argentina. I've not checked.
Steam Argentina.
Yeah, I could talk about that towards the end. Give an explanation because it's sick. It's really cool. You can get games really cheap from there. But
all right,
I don't know. It's cool that they're coming to the Switch. I personally, and a lot of people thought Danganronpa had started on the it was either PSP or the PS Vita. It would have made a great like 3DS game. It's the type of game that could have very easily been ported over and downscaled a little bit. It's not a very intensive game. So I kind of thought it would always have been ported to the DS, but it seems Nintendo has just kind of stopped supporting that recently. Despite them saying they weren't going to do that, they seem to have just ignored what they said. So it's nice that it came to the Switch at least, that all 3 games are coming. And this adaptation of a board game they're talking about, that's entirely new, to my knowledge. It's completely new Danganronpa stuff. It's going to have full voice acting, new animations, which is really fucking cool. It's literally it could potentially be just called another Danganronpa game if the community wants it to, because it seems like that's going to be what it is story-wise. I never finished the first one, not gonna lie.
I thought you told me to buy that all of them.
Oh no,
and then
I
didn't
like
finish
it.
them.
I really like it. The problem is when I'd play it, like on stream, I would always stream it, and it would literally amount to like 3.5 hours of reading out loud. I would go through like 4 water bottles because my throat would get like so sore and dry from just talking nonstop with like paragraphs and paragraphs, and I couldn't take that. I would come out of those streams with like a headache, and it would get really irritating to do them.
That's when you know you're streaming. When you have a headache, don't want to do it the next day, but you just do it anyways. That's when you know you're a real streamer.
Yeah, but I haven't streamed
painful headaches.
I haven't streamed Danganronpa in such a long time because of that. I may return to it one day and finish it. I don't know. It's a great game with the story and everything. It's really great. I just can't I just can't read it out on stream and everything. And I could play it alone, sure, but where's the fun in that if I've already streamed the majority of it anyways?
Yeah. Well, you can play the second one.
I could.
But you have to finish the first one first.
The third one kind of the third one is essentially spoilers if you haven't played the first or second. So I already know what happens in the first, but it doesn't actually touch on a whole lot of the second, or I didn't pick up on a lot of it. So I don't know. I could play the second realistically and not know what's gonna happen going into it because I genuinely don't. Whereas the first one I do. I know how it ends, but I don't know. It's really cool.
You might have ruined your experience with that game.
No, it hasn't. Because I know the ending. I don't know how they got there.
Oh.
Like it's an ending that if you told me it, without seeing any, like if you just told me it, and I hadn't seen the third game, and I had not played any of the first game, if you just told me that's how it ends, I would not be like, how the hell does that get there? That's like, it really is that like that weird how it gets there, and it's really cool to play through. What else is coming? We have Metroid Dread. Which is a 2D Metroid game with 3D models. It's similar to this. I forget what was it. There's one on the 3DS like that, and I have it. Metroid.
Look at your 3DS case.
I can't. Well, I don't have it physically. I have it digitally downloaded. I'll pull out my 3DS or my 2DS XL right now. Hopefully it has battery. I remember playing it though. I got stuck at a part, so I kind of deleted it. Or I don't actually, did I delete it? I don't think I did. I think I just stopped playing it. I got stuck at a part though, and I haven't played it in a while. But it was fun. I'm not sure how it's gonna play well on the Switch. Like, it kind of feels like they're going backwards in quality there a little bit. This is the equivalent of making. It's not porting a 3DS game to the Switch. It's making a sequel to it on the Switch without really taking any advantage of the hardware.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I don't
That
have it
kinda
anymore.
sucks.
And I mean, from
Dang.
what they showed, it may take a bit of advantage, but it's the same concept. It's not intensive to begin with, and it doesn't look like they tried very hard. But it still looks fun. And according to the developer of it, I forget the dude's name. It's or the head developer of it. It is the
Steve
first.
Buscemi?
I have no idea. It's the
I think
new.
Steve Buscemi.
It's the newest entry in the Metroid series with like a new story in 19 years.
Wow.
So that's, I guess, cool. I don't know. It's cool for Metroid fans, but I'm personally still holding out for Metroid Prime 4. One of my favorite DS games of all time was Metroid Prime Hunters. That game was so much fun. I played, even though the multiplayer kind of sucked because you had to use the stylus to turn in a first-person
Ooh.
shooter.
Ew.
Yeah, it didn't work well on the DS, but even so, it was like one of a kind first-person shooter. And I played the shit out of it on like riding the bus to school with a couple friends. That was so much fun. Whenever the one friend brought his copy of Metroid Prime Hunters, we would all just get on the network thing and play that. It was so much fun. I've not played actual Metroid Prime or Prime 2, and I'm assuming there's a Prime 3.
Is that one of the
4?
on the Game Boy or not Game Boy?
Yeah,
GameCube?
no. GameCube.
I did not like that one. Those first person, I didn't like the beginning of it. Like I still have it. But yeah, no, I did not like that.
I haven't played a single one other than Hunters, but I'm
If you
hoping
want to,
for
I
it.
can. If you want to, I can help. I can let you play it.
I'd be down for that.
All right, but just remind me.
Yeah. We also have WarioWare returning, which I remember a lot of people wanted last year for some reason. They really wanted a new WarioWare game, so whoever wanted that, there you go. We have WarioWare Get It Together, which is not a port of a WarioWare game, but an actual brand new game. Shin Megami Tensei 5, never heard of it. And I have a feeling Nintendo fans just call this another anime game.
No, I've heard that name before, but it is popular, I think.
Let me go over the
it's
2 I
okay.
skipped over, or the 3 I skipped over. 4 I skipped over too, real quick. Kazuya from Tekken is coming to Smash. I've heard a lot of people say they're not too pleased that he's the next fighter.
Why didn't they just add like? Nah, they could have had a better character in Tekken.
To me, it's always the obligatory ask of why isn't Goku in Smash yet?
I don't think that's. Then if they did that, it's like they're gonna add. Well, that was a joke, but if they did that, it'd be like a whole fuck ton of animes.
But it's like if they're gonna add Bayonetta, like a hypersexualized character to Smash, then why can't they add fucking Goku?
Well, if they're gonna do Goku, they're gonna add. All right, what about Naruto? What about Sasuke? What about My Hero Academia? What about One Punch Man? What about
Given how out of place Kazuya is, it would not surprise me if they did like the last. There's apparently only one fighter left. It would not surprise me if it was like fucking the kid from Demon Slayer.
Oh god!
It would not shock me. It's the most popular anime right now. It would not shock me if they added him.
I forgot about Demon Slayer.
What else was announced? A new Life is Strange remaster is headed to the Switch with a new game that takes place in the same like timeline as the original.
Oh yeah, I saw that. It's on Steam too. I
haven't looked into it very much, like at all, because I didn't really care. I watched full gameplay of the first Life is Strange. Didn't really care for it. I never watched the like weird sequels that have nothing to do with the first game either. So. And now let's go back down here now that I've caught up with what I skipped over. Advance Wars 1 and 2 reboot camp. Advance Wars, I'm gonna kind of sub-quote what they said here. Advance Wars was a turn-based strategy game released in the US and the Game Boy Advance. People did think it was forgotten by Nintendo, and there have been actually many videos on YouTube of people talking about how Advance Wars is such a good game and Nintendo really should bring it back. And I've seen them, and it really does look like a fun game. And And apparently Nintendo are bringing it back out of fucking nowhere. And I don't know. I think a decent few people are excited, though. If you look at Twitter, that doesn't really show. Then again, Twitter's not a great gauge for anything.
Yeah.
So that's a game I may actually end up picking up. I've seen the gameplay of it, of the original game. It looks really good. That's a game I may actually legitimately purchase. Looks nice.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
You said it's a remake or is it a full new game?
It's I'm not sure if it's a remake or remaster, but it's well, no, it's a remake. Yeah, it's a remake. I'm not sure if they've changed much or if it's just a graphical overhaul. I think it's similar to that one Zelda game that they redid where it was in like the 3D little chibi perspective, and it was the same game as the original.
Link Between Worlds.
Yeah, I think it's that type, not the style, but that type of thing where it's the same thing, just a newer 3D art style that's more modern and.
Well, that was a DS game.
No, the remaster of it was on the Switch.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying that was a DS game, the Link Between Worlds, because I'm playing. I don't really like Link Between Worlds. I'm kind of confused and stuck. But
and then people were mad about this. To celebrate Zelda's whatever anniversary or birthday, they first of all, I'll skip over the annoying one, read the final one since many want to hear this. Breath of the Wild 2 again was shown off a little bit. Don't know if I think we said that at the start, but Breath of the Wild 2 was shown off a little bit. They showed some gameplay, same graphics pretty much as the original. It looked interesting enough. I was intrigued. I've played a bit of Breath of the Wild on Switch, and not gonna lie, it is not my type of game.
Really,
I understand. I understand entirely why people like it. And there's definitely an alternate universe where I play the shit out of it. I just couldn't get into it though. I could not. I think a lot of it's the frame rate problems. I just can't. I can't get that off my mind. A lot of it is.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the frame rate issues. You might be able to figure that out by playing it on PC.
Well, also my Switch is homebrewed. I could probably overclock it and see how
you could, but because I was able to play well, not good because all the cache and the textures it had to use, and it was kind of choppy. But your PC specs, you could probably run Breath of the Wild pretty smooth. And if you get the Wii U version, you might be able to make it easier.
Yeah, my biggest thing with Breath of the Wild that really turned me off to it is how expansive the world is and then how little fast traversal there seems to be. I could be wrong on that, but it seems like it's very slow paced with traversal. It's no GTA 5, obviously, and I wasn't expecting that. Like with I should clarify, GTA 5 I consider pretty fast. You can get in a like fucking 220-mile-per-hour car and scale the map in like 10 minutes. I did not expecting that, but with Breath of the Wild, it really feels like you're running or on a horse that's moderately faster, and there's the stamina meter you have to account for when you slow down a bit, and then you go, and that seems like a lot to me to handle. It seems like it's gonna take a while to actually beat the game just by moving place to place.
Oh no, it for sure does. It does take a while to play, unless you're speed running on a certain version.
Yeah,
I think 1.3, 1.03.
I don't know. I'll probably catch up on the story of it. They seem that what they also revealed is with Breath of the Wild 2, they're trying to take things a bit more vertical, and that I like. I can definitely see.
What do you mean vertical?
Like the level, like the whole map. There's like you can go in the clouds of Hyrule and everything.
Well, I like how big the map is, but if they're gonna get rid of a lot of the expansiveness of
no. It doesn't sound like they're gonna get rid of it. It sounds like there's going to be more of it, but vertically, and that I like because that literally opens the door for fast travel. That is they can literally open a way to do that.
True.
So I'm excited.
There is fast travel. There is fast travel in Breath of the Wild.
Oh, I did not know that. I didn't mean the term fast travel. I meant like faster traveling on foot.
Oh, on foot? I don't know. There is fast travel though.
I did not know that.
I think from what I remember, I think you can with the Sheikah Slate you can like TP.
And then with the thing that pissed everyone off, the Game & Watch, the remastered Game & Watch Zelda portable thing. They did this with Mario for that 35th anniversary earlier this year, or maybe it was last year. I don't remember. It was in the past year. That was received well because there was also a ton of other Mario shit like Super Mario 35 and then the Mario 3D World expansion and all this shit. Whereas with Zelda, people really wanted Breath of the Wild 2 to release. I don't know where they got that idea. That was never happening. The game
that was not gonna happen. No.
I was expecting maybe a demo at most. I do think
why?
Because it's been like 3 years.
But
this isn't.
still, they're milking that game to shit. You and I, we all know they're milking that game.
I don't think they're milking it necessarily because it hasn't got. I don't think it gets updates. I'm pretty sure it's just kind of there.
I think it gets updates. It has. I don't know when the last update for Breath of the Wild was.
I get
Because I know that.
Go ahead.
They're that game. People still love it. I feel like they're like, okay, let's just keep sitting on this one and make it better. And I think the first 2 years. I think this is the first year they actually like started like fully going into like building Breath of the Wild. And you got to remember COVID kind of screwed us over for like a year.
That's true.
So it's like 2 years. So basically I give it 2 years of it being out, really.
I hope Breath of the Wild 2's out like in a year, honestly.
I think so.
But I think they said if I could be wrong, I'd have to watch it back. I think they said 2022 at the end of it, so it hopefully will be. But no, this Game & Watch people did not like, because the only thing they did to celebrate the anniversary is this Game & Watch and literally like the equivalent of 35 to 40 seconds of gameplay footage for Breath of the Wild 2, and the rest of it was like a cutscene, which is fine, but it wasn't really a whole lot to celebrate.
It's not what people wanted, yeah.
Yeah, so the Game & Watch thing includes all of the original Legend of Zelda, the Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, and the Adventure of Link. So I believe that's Zelda 1, 2, and that's not 3. I don't know where Link's Awakening falls. And then also a Game & Watch Legend of Zelda game, which definitely took Nintendo staff like 10 minutes to make. And then it has like a cool animated watch face on the Game & Watch itself. Not really. It's really not that great. I don't know. And then many people were mocking on Twitter, oh my god, the new Switch Pro. And I thought that was pretty fucking funny. So yeah, very boring Nintendo. I think it was one of the more boring E3s from Nintendo. It was hyped to oblivion. They could never meet that, obviously, but even so, just dampering expectations at all. Or a lot, rather. It's still, I don't think there was a lot announced. Danganronpa, really cool to see coming. That was not mentioned in this article. I don't know why they didn't. Really cool to see Danganronpa coming, though. Really cool to see Advance Wars getting a remaster. Yeah.
Breath of the Wild is cool to see, but
Breath of the Wild 2 it's great to see a thing on it,
they're
but
doing
it's not done.
it. Yeah. It's not done, but it's good to see that they're actually doing something with it.
So yeah, there were other things announced at other E3s, and we actually have one coming up next. I know Epic's gonna splurge talking about. But overall, at least from what I've seen on Twitter, the reactions to E3 this year have been pretty much
meh.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot announced. Kind of like what was it? E3 2018 was the same way, if I remember correctly. There just wasn't a lot.
I just booted up to COVID, to be honest with you. I give it like COVID fucked you all over. I understand. To
a degree, I can agree, but then you have shit like, how does Doom Eternal's final DLC release in 2021?
Because I think
it's great.
I think they are like, I don't know.
They said they worked from home on it, and they had no problems transitioning to home. Obviously, that's not true for every single studio. But
I could have sworn there were. I saw a thing on like how the Doom. What? Who makes that game? What
that's id Software, which is owned by Bethesda, which is owned by Microsoft now.
Okay, I feel like Bethesda would have or Microsoft at that point would have. I think all their games got like custom rigs for what they needed to do.
Doom Eternal's DLC was done before Microsoft owned them. I don't know.
Doom just pulls shit out of its hat and you're like, damn, that was good.
Doom Eternal is great. I still stand by that. Still an amazing game. I hate the first DLC. It's been really awful. I still haven't finished it. I've still wanted to and I still haven't because it sucks. It's overly hard and they didn't listen to the community, but like the fucking Marauder, I will always bring that up. It's an overpowered enemy it does not need to be as powerful as it is. It is genuinely annoying to fight. And instead of listening to the community, in like the first 5 minutes, they literally spawn two next to each other and have you take them out. It's like, wow, yeah, they didn't give a fuck. They heard the community and said, fuck you, and did more. And it's like, haha, but you're not helpful. The DLC, I can't stand by, but the base game is like still one of the best games I've ever played. We will move on to Epic's favorite story of today. Forza Horizon 5, one of the only big notable things from the Microsoft E3 event. Due out November 9th, features largest map yet in Mexico, and many people on Twitter have been making Breaking Bad jokes, saying, oh my god, Breaking Bad the video game.
That would probably be good. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Epic, I will let you take this one since you very much enjoy Forza.
Yeah. The game looks very promising, especially from what a letdown Horizon 4 was.
I thought 4 was
Yeah.
supposed to be really
I thought
good.
people loved it.
Yeah.
Honestly, to me, Horizon 3 was a lot better.
I'm one of those people that in my head we're still on Forza Motorsport 4 from the Xbox 360. I'm one of those people. I remember when Horizon came out, like the original, it was like, oh my god, this is a really cool, like arcade-ish, sim-ish experience. And then Horizon 2 came out, and people were like, holy shit. And then I don't remember anything like that for Horizon 3 or 4. I just kind of remember them as, oh yeah, they came out too. You good?
Sorry. Yeah, I dropped something. I'm good.
Horizon 1 and Horizon 2, everybody is like, oh, they're so good. And then, even though, like, Horizon 3 was amazing, that was the first Horizon game that I played. Like, I have to really gauge it off of Horizon 3 and Horizon 4. Horizon 3 is, like, a lot better than Horizon 4 just from... Because, like, even on Xbox, is when I played it, I had so much more fun on it, and the game felt so fresh up to the point that I switched to Horizon 4, and then I've just basically really stopped playing Horizon 4, like, mostly because it's just the game just feels so, like, boring because there's, like, not much to it. Like, the seasons just is kind of annoying. It's like, especially when it's winter time. And I understand the concept of seasons, but I just don't think it was executed well because, like, you get on and then it's winter time and you cannot do anything in winter because your car just like veers off the road because you have no traction, and it's like, oh, gotta wait another week until an actual good season at least. But
Yeah, sorry, I want to comment, but my mic is static again, so Zara, I'll let you take this while I figure this out.
Is it so? I feel like there's a Forza game that's VR, right? Or no?
no.
Oh, I feel. Would you play that? I feel like you'd love that.
Jeez, I feel like I would literally have to sit in my chair, and it would it would just be too weird.
You think?
Yeah.
Or do you use
Yeah.
do you use the actual wheel, or do you use controller?
I used to have a wheel, and then I sold it.
Because I know, like for T Martin, he has like a whole racing like kit. He has that whole thing. Those look sick. I feel like
I mean, they're cool. The weird thing about them is whenever you get to high speeds, like the wheel death wobbles.
I don't know. I think that's cool. I feel like racing games, you can't really get that deep into it. Like, how far do you want it to go? Like, I know there's what was it called? Not Forza. It's not Forza. It's like
Gran Turismo?
Another race. I think it might be Gran Turismo or the stock car race, like an indie stock car race.
Oh, the F1 games?
The F1 games. Those are like, is that your type of game? Have you played those?
No.
Oh,
they suck.
If you, I heard people liked it.
I've tried, dude. You cannot. I swear to God, it must be realistic as shit or something. But you cannot.
Yeah, no, it's very realistic.
You cannot steer the cars. I've literally gotten a controller and like full forced it on the right, going 20 miles an hour, and it just won't budge to the right. And my controller wasn't broken. It was, that's a lie. It was slightly moving, but you know what? It just won't. They don't move.
Yeah. That's that game. Yeah, I can't even lie. It is like very weird.
I don't know.
I know those are the games I think about. No. I was just saying those are the games that I feel like you might want to try if F1 games. So those are like very in depth, but it might be too in depth for you. It's like that shit gets like intense.
I gotta try. Go ahead.
Well, I like the more cartoony thing. I find that's why probably why I liked Horizon 3 so much, because like switching to Horizon 4, at least like starting off on some of the like even just stock cars that are even more powerful than the Horizon 3 stock cars, they feel so much heavier and so underpowered. It's like actually kind of crazy.
I get that.
I gotta one day soon return to Motorsport 4 because I love the shit. What Motorsport are they on now, Epic? Are they on Motorsport like 6?
7.
7, Jesus. I remember 4 was like, people consider it like the benchmark for a good sim game for a while. Like, it was really good.
Not even Farm Simulator?
Well, for like a good racing, not racing even, just kind of like car sim game. I remember a lot of people like Motorsport 4. I remember hearing about Motorsport 5 coming out and hearing no one talk about it. Like, I think I saw in some article at one point. I don't even know when it came out. I just remember people kept playing 4. It was that good. And I have like great experiences with 4. I've loved that game. It was really fun.
That's weird.
It was a very, very good blend of, it was more sim than arcade, but it was a very nice blend of sim and arcade where I could go from the fucking NASCAR like PS2 game where it is way more arcade in its default mode, and I could pick up Motorsport 4, and yeah, there's a decent few differences in a lot of everything aside from the fact they're not stock cars, but just in general, yeah, there's a lot different, but it was similar enough that I could pick it up and actually play it and not feel like, what the fuck am I doing? Why can't I turn to the left? It was decent enough. I really liked it. So I'm kind of surprised there's been another Motorsport game that's come out before like another Horizon game. But I don't know. I love how one of the ads, by the way, at the bottom for me is just a cow standing in the middle of the road.
What is it for?
A cow escorted from Ontario Road after completing what must have been a wicked burnout. I'll send the image right now in podcast text. What? Great image. This is actually a decent ad. This makes me want to click the article.
Give you my cookies.
Sick burnout cow. Yeah. Forza Horizon 5, November 9th. I don't know. Epic thinks it's going to be good. I take his word for it.
Oh, yeah, I hope. Like, especially just from what is going on and the fact we're going to be able to blaze through poverty-ridden Mexican towns in multi-million-dollar supercars.
Wasn't I do want to say first of all, is all of like the Lego DLC and everything from Horizon 4, is that coming to 5 or is that just gonna stay with 4? That's one thing.
No, that's the DLC stage for it. For Horizon 3, it was Blizzard Mountain, like a snowy map, and Hot Wheels, and in Horizon 4 there was Fortune Island and Lego. So
did you guys see there was a new Hot Wheels game? Sorry, but
no,
there was a Hot Wheels driving game that I saw.
Oh yeah, that was announced, wasn't it?
It didn't look good. T. Martin played it, I think.
I thought the Horizon thing was for, or the Hot Wheels thing was for Horizon 3 or 4. 4, not 3.
It might have been, but I thought it was an actual Hot Wheels game.
No, I'm not talking about that. I mean, when Epic mentioned the Horizon DLC, I thought that was 4, but apparently that was 3. Well, and then what was the other thing? I forget what the other question I had about 5 was. So I guess we'll just move on because I don't remember. But I don't know. I bet it's gonna be good. I'm probably gonna buy it just to see what it is. The last Horizon I played was Horizon 1, and I did not like it, but I liked Motorsport a lot better. I didn't like the arcadish style, but I'm now way more into arcade racers than I am the sim shit. I kind of get annoyed by it a lot. So I will. Oh yeah. It was the battle royale in Horizon 4. Is that still going to be a thing in Horizon 5?
Yeah, that's getting transferred over.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people really like it, and I've seen gameplay by Z Dominator, and it looks really good.
It's funny how in Horizon 4 they literally had to bribe you to play it. Like they gave you a Toyota Supra to play one game. I did.
I didn't know about that. I've heard it's really good. I've seen gameplay. It looks really fun. So I'll definitely be playing it for that then.
Battle Royale car sim.
No, yeah, you'd be surprised. Hold on, no. First of all, we played similar with that H1Z1 thing that we played a few times.
Which one?
They had this
that
mode.
car thing.
Yeah, it's
you just
not
unlocked
the same
the
as
memory.
that. Yeah,
you literally just unlocked the memory.
That shit was fun, even though there was no one playing. That was fun.
Man, I miss H1Z1 King of the Kill. It was fun.
Yeah, I miss the original. And apparently, I've heard rumors that the H1 devs have been talking to the community in private about maybe bringing back Just Survive, with a new map and everything. Dude, I'd love that. We need something to fucking overtake Infestation, and DayZ is not it. Um,
Wasn't H1Z1 a mod for DayZ, or it was some? No, DayZ was a mod for something. It used to be a mod, then it became its full game, right?
yeah. I'm not
I
sure what
forgot.
H1 started as. I just remember Player Unknown worked on it, and then moved on to make PUBG. After King of the Kill took off and then started to flop, he made PUBG and kind of took that over. And then Fortnite came in and took over.
There's still a PUBG Pro League too.
Yeah, PUBG's
That's
still big in its
crazy.
own right. It's just a lot bigger overseas.
Yeah. I remember the China #1 memes.
Oh god, that yeah.
China #1, China #1. Any game you'd get into, just I miss group fuckery in the plane,
Yeah.
screaming.
We will move on to probably the most interesting article we have today, because it came out of nowhere for a lot of people, including me, and I've heard some of these rumors, but we'll get into that in a second here. This is from The Verge. Windows 11 leak reveals new UI, start menu, and more. Now, first, I want to say we don't normally do The Verge. The only reason I chose them here is they actually had more footage of this leaked Windows 11 build than any other article I saw, and there's a bunch on their Twitter too. So it was a lot more useful than the other one, and it is accurate since they're not the only ones reporting it. There are others, and again, the actual install for it, the ISO file, is been leaked to the public. It has been leaked to the public, and I have it. So it is a thing.
It's getting taken down.
It probably is, because I haven't seen the link I found. It was a mega link. I haven't seen that used again. I've seen drive links that were disabled and people linking on Mediafire and everything. So Microsoft's definitely doing some type of damage control, and that makes sense and it's acceptable. This was not meant to be leaked, but so what I first want to address is the fact that me and Zaire, if we go way back here to this was 7th or 8th grade.
Oh no, what? Yeah,
we worked on a PowerPoint, if you recall.
Oh no.
Is Windows 10 the last version of Windows?
I have no recollection of this.
It's possible.
I remember us having a conversation about this.
I think we may have. I'm not sure if we were partners actually. We may have talked about it a lot in class. It was Mr. Y's class. And I don't remember if we were partners on that.
No, we had a conversation on it.
Yeah,
you and I had a deep conversation.
I know. I showed you it though before I presented it on the board. I know I showed it to you a couple times, and you thought it was really good. I made this, so I guess it was just me. But Zaire, I know I showed it to him before everything.
Yeah. You might actually still have the file. Make sure you, because
I don't.
Our school. Oh dang.
I've looked everywhere in Drive.
Our school's deleting our Google Drive like tomorrow, I think.
No, it would not be tomorrow because we still have classes.
Maybe next week, 2 weeks.
I think they said the 24th.
Oh wow, the day before our graduation.
Yeah, but what is it? I have one test frame in a PowerPoint doc, because that's what it was. I have one test frame of it that doesn't work anymore because it's outdated and trying to run in Google Slides, which is not the same. That shows it was the original test to see if it was possible. I have that for some reason on Drive. I don't have the original file. I contacted Mr. Y last year to see if he had it. He never got back to us, so we assume he didn't have it. And then the hard
respond.
Yeah, the one hard drive it was on, I believe it's been wiped at this point. It was the laptop drive. No, it was the laptop drive in the my dad's old laptop that you had at one point. I believe that was wiped, so I don't think it's there.
I think it was.
But this was made right maybe a year after Microsoft said that, announced Windows 10, said it is the last version of Windows. We're just going to do continuing updates for it, quality updates. There won't be another numbered Windows version ever.
I don't know why they said that.
Not gonna lie, I don't either, and that's why I made the PowerPoint, because this is interesting enough. Are they going to stick to this? Are they really serious about this is the last version? There won't be another. And I mean that really did seem to stand true, because Windows 10 was released in, I believe, 2015. And that has, stood true for 6 years. But it seems now that's not true. And I also want to say
6 years is a short amount of time, I feel like.
Oh, it is compared to Windows 7. Yeah, no, it is.
Yeah.
I think what happened here with Windows 11. At first, I want to get into some of the features of it real quick. So just from these screenshots, there is video of it and everything, and I can splice that
show
into
the video?
yeah,
Or,
I will.
or will
I'm
you...
definitely going to splice that in to the podcast right now so people can see it. If you're listening to the podcast, just look up on Twitter Windows 11. It was trending last night, but look it up. You'll find videos of it. There's tons. The biggest standouts to me were the rounded off tabs. Now tabs are rounded off; they're not angular anymore, which feels very similar to like a Mac or Chrome OS or Linux. Many Linux distros actually. In fact, there are many people on Twitter saying this kind of looks like a Linux distro. And I do have to agree. It does look very much like some type of Linux version. A lot of the icons have gotten a little bit more simplified, but also in many ways not. Like how currently in Windows, the settings cog is like a white transparent cog. It is now going to be a gray cog with a blue circle in the middle, which I personally think is a lot better. That's similar to many settings cogs that like Android has. So it's not more simple. That would be a bit more expanded. And then there's things that they've changed for no reason, like the File Explorer. Now, if you look at the bottom of your computer, if you're on Windows, you'll notice that the File Explorer icon's got a little blue notch in it, and they're filling in the gap between the notch and the little notch in it. They're filling the gap with more blue. I don't know why they need to simplify that. I don't know why they touched it. Or other things like making the Microsoft Store bag black. I think the whole point of it being white is like most bags from electronic stores like Apple or Microsoft or Google or anywhere give you like, like the sleek white bag. Like am I alone in thinking that? When was the last time you walked out of the Apple store with a black bag or the Microsoft store with a black bag?
Apple Store is different. They're like concise, clean Apple.
Oh, true. What I know is when we got my dad's old laptop flashed with Windows 10 because we couldn't do it at home, it wouldn't work, so we had Microsoft do it themselves. We tried everything to get it to work before we had them do it. They literally gave it back to us in a white Microsoft bag. That's what I always thought the Microsoft Store logo in Windows was a reference to, was the fact that that's what they use in their stores. I get they don't have the stores anymore, but I don't know why it's a black bag. I don't like what place gives you a black bag?
I was gonna make a joke. Nah.
No, don't do that. No. I just can't think of it though. I can't think of a single store that gives you a black bag. It's because it's inefficient because you have to dye the bag black. That costs a ton in whatever type of pigment or ink or whatever you use. That costs a ton. That's why no one does it. So I don't know why they did that. I understand if it was a dark mode thing, but it doesn't look to be. So I don't really understand why that's black.
Did they add dark mode?
Well, there's dark mode in Windows 10, so there's definitely going to be in 11. Yeah.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
And then like things here in the getting started thing, it's a bit different, and that also is an icon. Like the downloads folder, okay, first of all, the desktop thing is a folder now. It is a folder that has a little desktop thing, but also the folder notch at the top left. It's kind of what I really appreciate is it's not making like the Firefox meme, which is technically inaccurate, of like it becoming a swirl of colors. I like how it isn't that. It in some ways they've simplified it, and in some ways they've actually made things more expanded than Windows 10, and I really appreciate that. To a really high degree. There's some things that really could have used a change or removal, like how there's still the stupid like notifications thing in the bottom right that no one ever uses and everyone just clears when they get one because it's pointless.
I just do antivirus, that's all, and it worries me every time I see it.
Yeah. I really would appreciate if they would change the volume thing even slightly to be anything different. It's been like the same thing since Windows, I think 7 or even Vista. That could use with a change. Not saying it doesn't need to be necessarily, but it would have been nice if you're changing the rest of the UI. I would figure, you'd change a few other things than just the icons of apps. You might change the icons at the bottom as well. It looks like the new Windows logo is literally just 4 fucking squares. That's it. It's not angled anymore. They've just that is oversimplified. We're at the point where
that's literally the thing now. 4 squares.
Yeah, and they have it on their laptops and shit. I just kind of, I don't know. I think I like it better than the angled one on Windows 10 because it's literally just reused from Windows 8, and no one liked it in Windows 8. So
hashtag Windows 8 was the best.
People like 8.1, and I get it, but the reason people hated 8 was it literally got rid of the taskbar. It was gone. And that you
I
couldn't.
don't. It was a joke. Even my grandmother, she even says I hate Windows 8, and she doesn't know any other Windows things. Like she had a Windows 8 tablet. Oh my god, it was
Yeah.
horrible. It was so bad.
What else is new with 11? There's so besides the new icons, which some of them look really great, some are weird. Like I'm not sure what some of these at the bottom are, but rounded tabs, new icons. It looks like they're still using the same font of Sego UI. Was it Sego UI semi-bold? It's either Sego or Sergo. I don't remember which. It looks like the same exact font though. The background looks very fucking nice. That's the default background. It's not a Windows logo. It's just like this cool 3D render of a flower with nice shadows. I love it. I think that looks great. Certainly a lot better than the default Windows 10 one. It's actually something pleasant to look at. It does look like actually they've made the Windows logo a bit thicker, like the text for it and the settings thing. The start menu is, from what this shows, a downgrade in almost every possible way. Unless there's some way to change to the old one. It quite literally, it has pinned apps in it, which is nice, and that's at the top. And then below it is a recommended thing, not like a search bar, a scrollable showing your apps A to Z, like the current one has. It's just a recommended thing. Not sure what I think of that. Not really a fan. I don't think. And then they've also, I'm not sure if it's shown here. They've changed the settings thing, and this annoyed me, and I think I ranted about this to you, to Epic or you yesterday. To simplify the settings and make it look better, right, in their eyes, and simpler, they literally, instead of making it instead of making it three different like options in a row for the settings. If you open it right now, you see like you have your updates, profile, and graphic settings, right? At 3 in a row, and then the next row is 3. They made it 2 in a row, and they filled the empty space with nothing. They just made it like a bunch of empty space in the left of right. So now you have to scroll to go to find like the settings at the bottom. It's like, yeah, let's just take up this, let's just take the space we took up with another setting, make it empty, and then move them down. So now you have to scroll even if you're in minimized, or even if you're not in maximized. Weird. Yeah, I don't get it. That just seems like a waste of time. Let's see. I'm just looking at the comments here. Yeah, most of them are complaining, like talking about the same things we are. Ooh, the recycle bin got to change, and I like it. It's not angled anymore.
Wait, what does it look like?
So the recycle bin now, do they show it in here? Oh, they don't. The recycle bin now,
you can do it. I'll just see the NAS when you do it.
The recycle bin is flat, but it's not like it's flat but 3D, if that makes sense. You can see the depth behind it because it's still clear. And it looks honestly really cool. A lot of people are divided with it, and keep in mind, if the only big complaint people have is they're divided over. Actually, that's the second big complaint, but we'll get to the first in a second. But if one of the big complaints is what the recycle bin looks like in the Microsoft Windows where you can change the icon, there's not a whole lot wrong with it. You can just look up like Windows 11 recycle bin and find it there. It's nice. It's nice. Oh, new startup sound? What is this? That is sick. The startup sound linked in here. That is nice. I'm going to unmute the desktop audio and play it real quick. That is great. That's a great startup noise. By far, the biggest complaint I've seen from everyone is how everything, you can change this, keep in mind, you can change it back to how it is in Windows 10 and every other Windows where everything's on the left on the taskbar, but by default it's centered now in the middle. And I'm in the crowd of people where I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure I like it being centered. From what it seems, if you open things while it's centered, they will open from the middle. Like, so it'll, instead of coming from the bottom left or whatever, or just appearing, they'll open from the middle, which is kind of cool. That's a very nice image, Zaire. It's a very nice image.
That's when I looked up Windows 10 Recycle Bin.
Windows 11 Recycle Bin. Let me see if I can find it.
For me, it said Windows 11 Recycle, and then for some reason it went to that.
Funny how that was literally wrong.
Yeah.
Wow, if you look it up, you actually can't find it. I'm shocked.
Is it purple? The what you're talking about? The
It is
Windows
not
11 thing?
purple. No,
No. I'm talking about the background.
There are multiple options, so that's probably what you're seeing. There's multiple variants of the same thing.
Someone did it on a virtual machine.
Yeah, let me let me.
Well, it doesn't matter right now. We'll look at it later.
Yeah. But I'm not sure. What do you guys think of everything being in the middle? I want to know what because I'm.
What do you mean by the middle?
Dumb.
Look at the taskbar, Zaire, in the screenshots.
I'm looking. Oh, ooh.
It's all centered. You can change it, so it's not the end of the world. You can change it back to the original, on the left, but it's in the middle by default.
Middles. If I can get rid of this search thing on the right, like my search bar, like next to the Windows button, I'd be fine with that. You can do it now?
No, you can. I believe you can. You can in Windows 10, and I believe you can in Windows.
I didn't know you could do that in Windows 10. I'm finding out new things.
Well, I think now in 10 you have to like do some weird shit to do it. I think Microsoft removed the ability to. Yeah, you can do it in some form. Also, here is a screenshot. It's part of it's covered up by the thing open. You can see in the top left though the recycle bin, and you can see how it's like 3-dimensional but also flat. I think it looks great. I really like it. A lot of people don't.
I don't really like that. It looks too bland.
I don't think so. I think it looks great.
Mm.
But the one thing I want to talk about, I mentioned this before I started talking about it. A lot of people have pointed out many things, including the centered tabs at the bottom, and a lot of the icons and a lot of the overall look is almost identical, if not identical, to what was shown off in Microsoft whenever they showed off Windows 10X, which has now been canceled. Windows 10X was, I believe, their version of Windows that was going to run on their foldable tablet and other foldables going forward. They later went with Android. So Windows 10X got canned. But from everything I've read, this seems like they recycled Windows 10X into Windows 11, which explains why everything that's changing is slight and all visual, and there doesn't seem to be a lot of under the hood changes, at least that we know of. I don't think anyone's done a super deep dive yet into the code to see if there's anything big changing. But I think that's why it all seems kind of small, is because this is what was going to be for people who have foldable tablets, that they're just like, oh yeah, let's just recycle our work into this. Which would explain a lot of as like the centered taskbar. On a foldable, that makes way more sense than on a computer. But what worries me is when you think about that, that's exactly what they did with Windows 8. They made it with tablets in mind, and then said, fuck it, let's just push it to everyone. And everyone hated it. So in Windows 8.1, they at least gave the taskbar back. That's why that Windows 8.1 stands out as its own version, because they had to give the taskbar back to everyone. And then Windows 10 was like the evolution of Windows 8 back into Windows 7. And to me, at least, that's why Windows 10's always been such a buggy mess. So now it seems like Windows 10 is doing what Windows 8 did, and just becoming a tablet-focused OS. Only this time, the tablet doesn't exist. Or the tablet exists, but the software originally doesn't exist, so they're just recycling it. I don't know. I just don't understand why exactly they're releasing it. I don't know why Microsoft is so keen on going back on their word that Windows 10 would be the last version, just to do a big visual overhaul.
I feel like 11's the final last version.
Well, you see, they haven't said. First of all, Microsoft's only hinted at it. The biggest hint was a video going over all of the music composed for the Windows version throughout the years, and it was 11 minutes long exactly. There have been other hints at 11, and they have a keynote, I think, coming up very soon. I'd have to check when. And they're expected to reveal Windows 11 there. So this hasn't been out of nowhere. I don't know. I'm just so torn on it. It really does feel like what people have said, a Linux distro, like a different version of Linux, not Ubuntu, but some other like subversion of Ubuntu that someone made that changes something. It just kind of feels like a skin.
True.
And I'm not sure how I feel about it. So if there are big under the hood changes, like if HVEC, if HEVC, or maybe it's HVEC, I forget which term it is, but it's a new video encoding standard. If that is a stock thing now, in Windows. That'd be great. That's one of the things I really want, because currently you have to jump through hoops to get it in Windows, be it installing it through this weird method through the store or buying it through the Windows Store. It's kind of stupid. There's just weird ways you have to get it. If that's got to be built in, it's literally the new standard. It should have been built in the latest Windows 10 versions, and it's not.
Sorry, I had an idea.
What'd you find?
I was gonna say, I wonder if they're gonna do it like how they did Windows 7 upgrades to Windows 10, where it's free until a certain point.
I bet they will. But at the same time, the more I think about what I just said, considering how much of a reskin this looks like, I actually wonder if they'll just make it an optional update. And once 2025 hits, when they're ending support, say, okay, well, now you have to move to it. Because this, who's going to, even if they, say you can upgrade for free for a certain amount of time, after that, who's going to buy this? It's a reskin. To our knowledge,
True.
It's a reskin. So I don't know. I'm going to be very interesting. It's going to be very interesting to see what they do in regards to payment. And my biggest question overall is, how is this profitable? And I think I talked about this with you there yesterday. Again, I don't remember if it was you or Epic.
It was Epic.
Windows has such a wide install base already. And granted, some of their new install base, for example, could be from computer sales of like pre-builts and stuff, sure. But Windows already has such a wide install base of everything. How do they sell that when they do these free upgrades? How do they sell their software to consumers? Most people who didn't do the free upgrade for Windows 10 were holding out on 7 or 8.1 because they didn't want to go to 10. They didn't like it. And then when it came time where they were forced to upgrade, via Microsoft actually forcing it, because they did do that with many, and then force them to buy a product key, they would just crack it. Because it's not hard. You can look it up and find multiple articles of how to do that. Obviously, we cannot legally advise that, but you can. That is something you can do. And furthermore, with most Windows versions for Windows 10, you can just run it with the activate Windows thing in the bottom right and have no problems.
I did that for many years.
Yeah. But I don't understand how it's... First of all, I'm not sure how they're going to sell this. It's a reskin. Second of all, how do they make money off of redoing Windows? I
don't think it's therefore they want. I don't think it's to make money at this point. I think they just want to do it.
But that's what makes
even
me
though
wonder,
Microsoft's some greedy son of a bitches. I think
that's what makes me wonder if this really is reused or recycled Windows 10X. It makes me wonder if they're doing this just so all that money they put into Windows 10X counts for something. Period. Even if it's
make them feel good.
Yeah. And probably for some type of tax write-off too. It could honestly be for that. I wonder if that's why they're doing it. Just recycling another OS entirely for that. That would make complete sense. Because if you look at Windows historically, with the exception of Windows 95 to 98, where 98 was the actual good version of 95 that didn't have all these crashing problems, most and technically you can count Vista as well, because Vista and 7 are very similar, but there are a lot of differences. Someone who's used both Vista and 7. But with the exception of not really 95 and 98, Windows hasn't really made a recycled version of Windows. It's always new. It's always something new. 7 was a more improved version of Vista, but it did have a lot of visual changes, a lot of visual changes. 98 was... I've personally not used much of 98 or 95, but from what I've seen, 98 and 95 don't look very different. It's just 90 doesn't crash nearly as much. They haven't done this before. They haven't just reused stuff. And technically you can count 8.1 as reusing stuff, but it's a subversion, and you can count 10 as reusing stuff, but it really, at this point, it only reused the logo. That's about all it reused. And
hey, Matt.
Yeah?
You're rambling now.
I am rambling.
Okay.
Thank you for cutting me off.
Stop.
We will move on.
We need to stop.
But Windows 11, I will finish it with Windows 11 is likely going to be out within the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, Matt, stop rambling.
Okay.
Stop rambling.
I don't
rambling.
believe it's
You're
going to be
rambling.
out in... I don't think it's going to be out in the next 2 weeks, but we'll talk about it later.
All right. So we move on to a story from a cut off logo, because the logo's cut off for me. It literally says, I am Mob, but it's Sam Mobile. Samsung will fix Android Auto issues on phones with July 2021 security update. And this talks about how Android Auto on a lot of phones, but apparently specifically Samsung phones, the Galaxy S21, Android Auto crashes when they unlock their phone. And I'm not sure with what they're saying here. It doesn't really Android Auto. They mentioned the app and everything. It doesn't actually say if it's the Android Auto built into the car or the phone. And what worries me, if it's the one built into the car crashing, that seems like kind of a problem, like a really big issue.
Your car crashes.
Imagine Android Auto crashing your car.
Yeah. Oh, error, must turn into wall or some shit.
Your
Your
car
power
blue
steering
screens as you're on the
locks up.
highway.
Yeah. Dude, I just don't. Even if Android Auto in like car apps is very disconnected from the rest of the car, I still see that as kind of unsafe. If the car app can crash from an Android phone connecting, that seems like a major issue that Samsung shouldn't just say, yeah, we're working on it. They should be like, holy fucking shit, it'll be fixed tomorrow. Like I shouldn't really see the yeah we're working on fixing the issue. Like, dude, that's the
It'll get done.
It's not, I guess I can't say it's the equivalent, but it sounds similar enough to me of like if there was a problem with Teslas where if you connected your phone to Bluetooth, the whole software just crashed. It's like, oh shit, that's a major issue. And Elon Musk said, yeah, don't worry about it. That seems very equivalent to me. Just like brushing off, like, yeah, okay. I can imagine Tesla doing that. That's the best part, but I can't imagine Samsung doing it, and yet here they are. They're just saying, yeah, it'll be fixed, yeah. So
I can see Elon Musk saying it is what it is.
yeah, definitely. See, what is it? Oh yeah, Epic posting more Hondas because Epic loves Hondas.
Nissan Altimas are fire.
And then this also talks about how last year Galaxy smartphones faced another Android Auto bug that would make it stop working. So it looks like Samsung's and Android Auto do not have a good relationship. There's not a whole lot left in this article, so I think we're just gonna move on unless anyone has anything else to say.
No.
Honda Civic.
Okay, we're moving on. This one I didn't really understand, and I actually have the new Gmail, and I don't really notice any changes. And this article does not talk about many of the changes at all. It's from ghacks.net. Nice name. Google launches the new Gmail for everyone. Here's how you enable or disable it. All I know now is when I go into Gmail, it says Google Workplace, and like below the Gmail logo. And
I'm in my Gmail right now.
there's supposed to be some type of change. I mean, I can open it right now and see if there's anything, but I don't really think there is.
No, mine's the exact same.
Yeah, I don't see
Settings?
anything.
Oh, well, maybe if you go to settings, you can do compact.
No, that's those have been there for like a long ass time.
I've
Here, let
never
me
looked
follow
over
their
here.
steps in their tutorial right now. You go to chat and meet and to enable Gmail, select Google Chat next to chat and select save changes. Google Chat next to chat. Okay, save changes. Show me the new Gmail, please. I would like to see it. Wow, it really does not look like fucking different at all. It literally looks the exact same. That's great. Nice article,
Put a
guys.
screenshot of it on the screen. Make sure you screenshot and put it up.
Well, I
just
can't.
click
I'm
the
not gonna
last
screenshot my own personal Gmail.
Well, just block out your email.
Here's this. Like, wow, really great. It's the same thing. They made things a bit wider on the left, and that's like all I
literally
noticed.
Just looks like it's sharpened up. There's like nothing different.
Yeah. So I don't know. Cool update. Very great article, G-Hacks. That was really worth my time. Not
Wait, what's the difference?
exactly. There's like none. There's just nothing here. All right. Well, we're gonna move
I
on.
like the rooms you're in.
Yeah,
Cards
Steve
Against
Martin
Humanity.
still got shooters in these streets, and the Cards Against Humongous chat.
I like the black background. I still every time I use
that's not new. That's
Yeah, I know. That's an add-on you said, right?
no, that's actually built into Gmail, I believe. There's like a thing you can change now. That's like it's been like that for a bit. I don't. It might be my add-on doing it. Let me see. Is it?
I for sure think it's your add-on because I don't have that.
No, it's not my add-on actually.
What?
It's I mean the quick settings is white, but everything else is black and gray. It's not really my add-on. It's a Gmail thing you can change with the color themes. We're gonna move on because there's like nothing in this article, and there's really nothing new in Gmail. This is the same thing. This is, hey guys, release an update. It's the same thing. This is what, like, what was it? This is iOS 12. It's the same exact thing as 11, but they changed a few things under the hood, I guess. Not a lot different. Except Apple needed it. Gmail really didn't. So we'll move on to this article that whenever I click on it, the screen like dims, and I don't know why. It's from Rock Paper Shotgun. I've had this problem with their site before. There we go. I ad blocked the thing that was making it weird. Razer's Project Hazel face mask has evolved with new interior RGBs, and more importantly, they're not useless. It's not just to look cool. From what I've read in this article, the reason they're adding interior RGB lights is, well, the RGB part I don't get, but the reason they're adding interior lights is so people can see your mouth moving when you're talking, since it has a like a people. Clear.
Right.
I'm not sure if it's specifically for deaf people. It's just in general. But now people, if it's like dark, people can see your lips moving clearly with these lights on. It's using a silicone thing now instead of a weird mesh. I have a feeling that has a lot to do with what happened with Oculus recently with the original Quest 2s that shipped, where the really scraggly I have it on my Quest 2. It's just covered up with a silicone thing. This really awful mesh that they have on it. It's really itchy, but apparently it like severely irritated people's skin. They had like allergic reactions to it. And
yeah, that's what I was worried about with your Oculus. I thought I'd have an allergic reaction.
Well, I had the silicone thing over it, so you were fine, luckily.
Yeah.
But yeah. I believe it's Australia. You are eligible now if you bought it there like before January or March 2021, something like that. You're eligible to get a free replacement from Oculus that is not the same thing, that it is quality. And I have a feeling that is probably why, because it's not the only one. I forget the other ones. I've seen other companies changing their material and talking about it very briefly. I have a feeling what Australia did is probably the reason why everyone's doing that, is they forced Facebook to give people the better interface. And these companies don't want to be forced to do that, so they're just doing it automatically. That's my guess. I could be wrong. But they now have a silicone interface that sits in your face instead of a weird mesh that probably itched. That's really it, honestly. That and the interior lights. That's still the same mask that looks pretty cool and kind of weird, and more importantly is going to not really be relevant or needed when it releases, if it releases at this point. They're aiming for, what is it, Q4 2021? We're not going to need that, I don't think, unless COVID ramps up again, which would take a lot. We're not going to need fancy N95 masks at the end of the year.
Probably wear masks.
Oh yeah, but we're not, like, N95s are like, everyone is a potential risk for COVID. That's, and like ultimate. How do I say it? Wearing a normal mask in public, especially right now, is completely fine, because it really does mitigate the risk. But there's already not a lot of it because a lot of people are vaccinated. N95s are when like no one's vaccinated and everyone's a potential risk and you're trying to be really safe. And more importantly, it's Razer. It's going to be expensive. N95 stuff's already expensive. This is probably going to be like $120 to $200 mask. Who's going to buy this in December or October?
True.
Gamers.
I get confused when the quarter thing comes out. I get like one's Q1. I feel like that's January to like March.
Yep.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
And what's 2 and 3?
It's either there's 12 months in a year and one quarter is 3 months.
Oh, okay.
The more thing about it, if it releases in October, that might actually work. That if they released around Halloween, dude, that'd be their only bet. I could see many people using this for Halloween for something, for like a really cool type of custom.
They can do a utopian type thing, or they can do Death Note. They can do L.
Well, people can also do their own type of cosplays with whatever they want with it, or make their own thing. It would be true. People will dress up for any occasion they get. So that'd be really cool. That'd make them a lot of money if they released it then. I don't know about any other time of year.
Yeah, if it's coming out early Q4, that's gonna be like early to mid October.
So hopefully it comes out right before or around Halloween. Otherwise, I don't see this making a lot of money.
Sense
or money, yeah.
Also, do you find that it like sticks off your face too much?
Yeah, it does kind of look like that in that AR thing. Oh, also it has an anti fog coating on the plastic now that you talk into. so it won't fog up. And that was the thing that many people were worried about. I'm not sure how great an anti-fog coating is going to do. It's kind of like the anti-scratch coating on smartphones. That it makes a scratch not as bad, but it's still there. So something tells me it's still going to fog up pretty well, but just not all the way. I don't know. It seems
well,
like
you can't eliminate it fully. It is next to your mouth and all.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But when you think about that, it's like, well, then why did they make a mask with the mouth thing like that if it's going to fog up?
True.
But hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully it is good. And hopefully it's not stupidly expensive. I mean, it's going to be, but one can hope it's not because it looks kind of cool. Move on to an article.
I feel like you'd get one. But
I probably, if it's cheap enough, I will. If it is cheap enough, I will. Move on to a story from 9 to 5 Mac. This one we can kind of quickly blaze through. It's a bunch of Apple Arcade announcements. Alto's Odyssey, The Lost City, Doodle God Universe, and the one I want to talk about, Angry Birds Reloaded. Isn't this like the 20th like Angry Birds game or the 21st or some shit?
Angry Birds Battle Royale.
What is it? There's Angry Birds 1. There was Angry Birds 2, which released way later. There was Space.
Well, no. There's like 17.
17.
Yep.
How do you know that exactly? Did you look it up?
Google.
Oh, okay.
Angry Birds. Angry Birds 2. They're all just called Angry Birds.
Yeah, there's
Oh no. So they count it with the Rio one. There's another Rio.
No, I count those two. Because there are their own games.
Star Wars ones. Angry Bird Evolution, Angry Bird Blast.
Evolutions died, 2. Dude. I remember Evolutions and 2 came out around the same time. Evolutions just died.
There's 2 different versions of Angry Birds 2. Wait, there's 3 different versions of Star Wars.
Well, they're not. They are different though. Actually, I owned
Angry Bird Epic.
Yeah, that failed as well. The only Angry Birds games I really liked, Angry Birds Star Wars 1 was great. Angry Birds Space is probably one of my favorite mobile games ever. That game was actually creative and fun. It was like really creative. It was pretty much felt like they couldn't get the Star Wars license, so they did it. And then the Star Wars one, you'd think it'd feel like, oh, we got the license now, so we'll just pump out another game. But the first one felt like quality. The second one felt like more of the same.
They didn't have the license for the first one?
No, I'm saying Angry Birds Space felt like they didn't have the license for Star Wars, so they made a space game that had nothing to do with it. The first game they did have the license for, yeah. They did have it, and it felt quality for some reason that you would expect it not to be, given Space existed just like a year prior. Bad Piggies.
Yeah, no, there's 17.
Bad Piggies is great. It is another favorite mobile game. I have a friend who still plays it, I believe. That game is so much fun. It was a great spin-off. It was like its own thing. And then there was this really weird car game where you like buy these plastic cars and you'd scan them. It was like Portal, like Skylanders type shit on mobile that you could do, and it kind of worked, kind of didn't, because you didn't scan it in. You actually had to like manually type in the like 20 to 25 character code on the bottom of the fucking thing, and it didn't work 90% of the time. I remember really not the gameplay on that.
Nice.
The gameplay on that was really fun. You couldn't play the game. Every time you opened the app, you had to scan the thing in. Or type of it in. Yeah, it sucked. So I stopped playing it really quickly because when it wouldn't verify it and I knew it was right, I was looking dead at it and it was right. No, I'm not wasting that much time on it. And then every other Angry Birds game I tried feels like the same shit or pumped out. Even Angry Birds Rio, which I played all the way through, that was out of boredom, and it was over the course of like a week. I just didn't, and this was like before I had a computer. It wasn't that fun. I mean, it was more of Angry Birds 1, essentially, but with like a couple different reskins. Whereas Angry Birds like Space and Star Wars were actually kind of their own thing and really cool. So I'm not, and also Angry Birds 2, this is what I want to mention definitely. Angry Birds 2, dude, I don't know what the fuck they changed. It's literally just Angry Birds 1. That's all it is. It is the same game.
Yeah, it's Angry Birds 2, the Electric Boogaloo. That's really what it is.
But what concerns me is what the fuck is Reloaded going to be? Is it going to be a remaster of the first game? Because they actually already did that. You can't get the original Angry Birds app anymore because they remastered it in HD and they have that version up now. So they've already done that once. Is it going to be a reimagining of the first game or just a reimagining of the general characters? Because they've already done that with the movie, with Angry Birds 2, and then with every other sub-Angry Birds game that wasn't licensed, like Space and Evolution, every other, you name it. There's so fucking many. I don't Rovio already filed for bankruptcy right after I believe his Angry Birds the movie too was released. They're not doing well. They haven't been because Angry Birds has not been profitable. So why in the world they're releasing another one instead of just letting the franchise die because it's been dead for years? I don't know. I don't get it.
I don't think it's been dead. It is just one of those phone games where shit, I might as well just hop on, buy a few things, and keep them pushing. But
Well, I know a lot of people were. I remember Angry Birds Evolution. A few friends I had that were really into mobile games were pissed with it because there was like nothing different. It was the same exact game, and that one had a lot of microtransactions and it was very heavy on it. And people thought Rovio were just shitting out games. And honestly, this just seems like Rovio are shitting out more games. It's the same game. So I mean, I hope for them it's like different. I mean, I'll probably give it like 5 seconds. If it's an Apple exclusive, then I won't. But if it's not, I'll give it like 5 seconds of playtime or something. Actually, it's Apple Arcade, so it's going to be... It is, because it's arcade. Apple Arcade.
Oh, I hate Apple Arcade.
So, knowing Rovio and their money situation, they most likely literally took this deal because they're not doing well as a company, and Apple's offering them money. That's probably why this is an exclusive. So, to anyone who wanted to play this and can't because you're on Android, you're probably not missing much. It's Angry Birds. Just go play.
iPhone emulator.
That doesn't exist.
iPhone emulator.
There's a private one that exists, but you can't buy it because Apple has a lawsuit against them currently. I don't know if you're really that interested in Angry Birds, go play Angry Birds Space. Best game in the entire franchise. It's actually fun. I replayed it like years later. That's how good it was. I kept it was in the back of my head. I'm like, it was just fun. It's so good. Play that. You'll have more fun with that, I guarantee, than Reloaded or any other Angry Birds game.
The best iPhone game I ever played was on the iPhone 4. It was like this little kid. It was a top-down shooter, and it was one of the best. I don't know what the name of it was, but it was like fucking sick.
Yeah.
It just reminded me because I was thinking, if you know what it is, to please tell me in the comments.
I know Angry Birds GTA.
There's a third
no. It was
kind
of. It was a top. It was a top-down or maybe third person. It was like a little kid. He was going down shooting things.
Was it like Gears of War?
Maybe I'd have to see it.
It's called like not Shadowland, Shadowrun, Shadow something. It's now a first-person shooter franchise, but on mobile, it was practically Gears of War on mobile, and it was really fun. I think it still has a ton of players because it's like mindless fun.
It was the iPhone 4.
Well. I think it released on.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it's not this.
Shadowgun, yeah, Shadowgun was the name of it.
No, it's not this. It looks too good.
All right. But yeah, no. If you're on an iPhone, you're not missing much. Just play Angry Birds Space. That's really my take here, and that's about it. I just want to talk about why the hell is Angry Birds? Like, is there another Angry Birds game? Move on to our final story, which I believe was a misclick, and I just ran with it. This is from fucking ITM InsideTheMagic.com. Disney brings back Jack Sparrow without Johnny Depp. And this is for a Sea of Thieves DLC, a pirate's life. Sorry, it was covered up in the original photo. And they have what is Captain Jack Sparrow. He really doesn't bear any resemblance to Johnny Depp because it's so simplified due to the character style. It looks like Captain Jack Sparrow. You could call it Johnny Depp. It's not. It's a guy with this fucking like beard and mustache and long hair. Like it's very generic, and that's probably what they wanted anyways. They probably knew with the art style of Sea of Thieves they could get away with doing that, and they wouldn't have to like get Johnny Depp's permission for anything. And I also don't want to because Disney are still in the belief that he did something wrong. It has been proven that he's done nothing wrong.
Think he didn't? Are they still talking about that?
They're not. No one's really talking about it, but it's more like he got like let go of for Pirates 6, and no one wants to work with him anymore. And he's considered disgraced when he didn't do anything. There's no evidence besides Amber Heard's word that he abused her. Whereas there's
there's evidence he didn't do anything.
I was saying. Whereas there's evidence from him that not only did he do nothing, but that she abused him. There's actual evidence of it. There's recordings
and of recordings.
Yeah. So I don't know why the hell Disney's just, oh yeah, we'll stick with a court litigate. Like, dude, there's actual public proof. That never happens with a court case. There's actual proof, and he still lost his case. But I don't understand it.
I don't think he lost the case. I think
he lost the one, though. It was a lawsuit against him, or no, it was a lawsuit he filed against the Sun, the Sun, which is a publication. that said he was abusing Amber Heard, and he filed against them saying it was false information. And the court ultimately said, no, you did, even though he showed them proof, whereas Amber Heard didn't. I don't get it.
That's crazy.
But yeah, I don't know. Some people. Oh yeah, the big thing is people are saying it sounds like Johnny Depp voicing him, in the game or something, or in the trailer. But Johnny Depp's not credited on IMDb or anything. And some people, this article says, oh, he's not credited on IMDb. He would be if he took it. You can literally edit anything on IMDb. It's just considered accurate because no one does that, but you can. So someone could just go and add it right now, and it'd be like, oh, it's official.
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, I mean, to an extent. I haven't done it myself, but like people have made fake IMDb pages for tons of people with tons of fake info, and it takes like 5 clicks from what I've heard. So I'm not sure how accurate it is to say he has nothing to do with when it's not his IMDb page. They may just be reusing his voice. I don't know. I doubt they got him back to do anything though. Given Disney.
Would you guys like to play Sea of Thieves?
I've debated buying it many times, but I had no one to play it with.
See, I've debated buying something else, but I have no one to play it with.
Yeah.
I have a game. Okay, how about we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, there's not a lot with this story though. I'm pretty sure I meant to middle click another story, and I middle click this, and I just ran with it. I'm like, yeah,
free
okay.
Johnny Depp. That's all we gotta say. Free the homie. He did nothing
Johnny
wrong.
Sins.
Legitimately.
Not Johnny Sins. No, not free Johnny Sins.
Johnny Sins is kind of weird now. He's a little strange.
That's all we got for today. Thank you guys for watching the podcast, whether you're on YouTube, Spotify. I believe we're on iTunes. I think we're on iTunes. I have to check. If we are, you may not be.
We are.
We're on Google Podcasts. I know that.
If we are on iTunes, I hate Apple.
Oh,
fuck Apple. We all my homies hate Apple. I didn't
Apple.
even want to buy it. We legit hate you, Apple. If you're reading this or hearing this, we hate you.
Yeah, you smell like you
Goodbye.
farted.
Farted.
Thank you guys for listening, watching, whatever. We do have more content coming. It's just taking us a while to get a lot of it produced. To quality standards.
Are graduates.
Yeah.
2 of us are graduating, so it's kind of a shitty time for us right now.
Yeah, and we wanted to have better quality standards than what the chair review ended up amounting to, because that really didn't. I personally
we tried.
Yeah, we really did try. It got to the point where if I didn't push it out when I did, it would have just entered production hell and been me like constantly trying to reshoot things and redo, and it wouldn't work. We clearly don't have like the greatest cameras for anything. So I'm gonna try and stay farther away from working with cameras for videos like that.
I feel like our camera work was good.
Our camera work was good. The cameras we used overall, they don't edit well. There's nothing that can replace a DSLR for video.
True,
at least that I've found.
True, but we're not doing high tier. I don't know. If you guys haven't seen the chair review, or maybe we might do another phone review or different stuff like that with our phones. But after we get a couple out, let us know how you see our film skills, even with editing and stuff like that. It's not going to be the greatest, but we're working with it to see how you guys like it. If you have any critiques, but yeah,
and we do have a VR video coming. It's one I've been working on for a while. Except it's usually someone else's thing. They made some custom mods, and they've been updating it pretty rapidly. Like I just got another update to it in today, like a hardware update thing, or yesterday. So I haven't no, it was today. I haven't had time to really do a whole lot with it. I just got it. And it's already having some issues. So that's been continually getting pushed back while we wait for him to be done. His Etsy shop is actually closed on the 21st, so I have some time to like work on doing shit with it once I figure out how to get it working. But we do have some VR stuff coming. And
also, I had an idea during the podcast of something that I could do. But I'll bring up that Epic and Matt after this.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you see something, yeah.
So thank you guys for watching, and we will see you guys next time.
Goodbye. All right, so
nice
the idea.